Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about a programme new to the BBC, and this is Servants, the True Story, and I'm talking specifically about the first episode. So in this programme, Dr. Pamela Cox looks at the history of servants and the position servants held within a household, and kind of digs deeper into what their lives were actually like. And that I find is a very fascinating concept, because I will be perfectly honest, as far as I was aware, it was nothing like what is being portrayed. I thought it was very much all negative, no positivity for the life of a servant, the working life of a servant, outside with, obviously I can't comment on because everybody is different, but the actual grafting I thought was completely negative, but it kind of shone light on some of the slightly more positive moments, reining in the achievements of specific servants. There was one particular moment where there was a really nice poem written about a butler, which I thought was really lovely and hadn't expected that. So I think the idea behind it, to really bring forward what life was like for servants, is something that is not that frequently done. Yes, the Victorian era is often looked at in documentaries and in programmes, but not necessarily always specifically about the servants. It might look at the different ranks of the household, and yes, this does touch upon the different ranks and where different people stood within a house. But very rarely will they just look at the servant life, and I think that individuality across the hour of this first episode really allowed a lot of different doors to be opened and a lot of different angles to be looked at, and I was very pleasantly surprised with that, because I did think it was going to be a lot more negative than what it was. And I'm not saying that the programme went and said the life of a servant was actually blooming fantastic, because it doesn't say that. It does highlight just how hard they had to graft and kind of the isolation they were faced with. But as I said, there are one or two pleasant things along the way. The primary focus of the programme and the main point of it, I believe, is to show where we have come from. Now, by we, I'm speaking generally. I don't mean necessarily me, I don't mean necessarily you. But generally speaking, where our ancestors have come from, a lot of them would have been servants. Most certainly mine would have been servant. I'm not from an inheritance of wealth or anything like that. My ancestors would have probably been servants, or of the sort. So I found that really great. The script in this as well, and by script I basically mean the words Dr. Pamela Cox says. I don't know to what extent it was auto-cued, and maybe it was spontaneous, I don't know. I found that what she was saying was very easy to keep up with, very easy to follow. Now, I will be honest, I'm not a complete idiot when it comes to the Victorian era. I was going to say look at me, but you can't see what I'm wearing. I have like a net skirt, but look at me. I belong in the Victorian/Edwardian era. I love that period, which is one of the exciting things about this programme for me. But I was sort of picking up things along the way. It's not for people who are already comfortable within the Victorian era. That's not the right way to word it, but you know what I mean. You don't have to know anything about it, but it's still not put in layman's terms. So if you do know something, then don't worry, it's not back to basics. I think there's something in there for people of different levels of knowledge. Everything is broken down really easily, but at the same time it still remains intricate, which is, it's simply intricate, which is a bit of an oxymoron, but it works really, really well. So I think what we're told and the way we're told is great for any audience, and that is obviously the beauty of a good programme and a good documentary that is trying to inform you. However, it's not just a programme to be watched for information. A lot of documentaries we will put on because we want to learn about that thing. I don't know why when I think of that, but I always think of Nazi Germany. I've watched countless documentaries about Nazi Germany, and I don't watch them for the entertainment factor. Of course I don't. But with this, I found that just the programme itself was so pleasing and so enjoyable to watch that even if you weren't interested in the Victorian era or the servants or that time period, or even history in general, which I think everybody should be. I love history, but that's another point. It's still so beautifully put together. There are a lot of visual aids, there are diagrams, it kind of recounts certain activities of the servants. It really sucks us in and makes us feel like we're there, and that is brilliant. It is like time travel. In that space of an hour, you're transported back to the Victorian era. You feel like you're there, you get to witness these things without actually witnessing them, which is absolutely brilliant. It's atmospheric, it's engaging, it's informative, it's entertaining. What else could you possibly ask for from a programme like this? I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do definitely recommend you all go and check it out. The first episode is currently on iPlayer, and I imagine the episodes thereafter will be on there. By the time I've uploaded this video, the second episode should have aired. I'm assuming there's a second episode. I didn't actually hear anywhere that there was, but on iPlayer it says episode 1. But either way, I absolutely loved it, and I think there are various different angles that can be taken with this, and I just think it ticks all the right boxes, and I absolutely love it. Please let me know your thoughts on this. Go check it out if you haven't seen it, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!